It would be difficult to imagine a hypothetical instance of cultural conflict more fundamental than that which occurred in the 17th century when European Americans first made contact with Native Americans along the Atlantic seaboard. In the next 200 years, as whites pushed farther west, the same meeting would occur on successive frontiers. Cultural interaction and conflict are always subtle and complex processes, but they are not always as devastatingly one-sided as in the case of indigenous white relations. As the Iroquois and Shawnee and the Arapaho would all eventually discover, the white man's superior technology, hunger for land, and ethnocentrism seemingly knew no bounds. The threat came in many forms: smallpox, missionaries, Conestoga wagons, barbed wire, and smoking locomotives. And in the end, it came in the form of schools. In the 1790s, no question was more pressing for the new national government than that of deciding the future status of Indians. The policy issue could be reduced to this fact: Indians possessed the land, and whites wanted the land. In addressing this dilemma, the early architects of federal Indian policy never doubted that the vast wilderness stretching to the west would one day fall into white hands. It was not simply a matter of greed. On the contrary, the very survival of the Republic demanded that Indians be dispossessed of their land. According to prevailing Republican theory, only a society built upon the broad foundation of private property could guarantee public morality, political independence, and social stability. It followed that the fate of the Republic was inextricably linked to an almost endless supply of free or cheap land. And if the nation possessed anything, it possessed an inexhaustible supply of land, or rather, Indians possessed it. For the founders of a settler nation, a major priority was the creation of a mechanism and rationale for divesting Indians of their lands. The matter was especially delicate and problematic because even though the divestiture of Indian land was essential to the extension of American ideals, that divestiture must also be ultimately justified by those same ideals.